Hello, time for another Man in Gray book review. Today's book is Gothic Sports, Volume 1, written and illustrated by Anike Hage and published by Tokyo Pop in 2007. It's 180 pages. This is a manga series, but it's a manga series that's a little bit different because Anike Hage is German, so this is a German language series inspired by Japanese manga. Hage grew up reading the Sailor Moon book series when she was a kid and fell in love with manga and decided to try to create her own. And in this series, she takes one of the common manga plot lines, which is the story of the new student who comes to school and has to make new friends and make their mark and kind of win over opposition and kind of make their mark. In this case, the lead character is this girl named Anya, who's a 10th grader, and she transfers to a new school. And the reason she transfers to the school is because she wants to be on a sports team. And this particular school has the best sports teams in the whole city. The problem is she's never been on a sports team before. So when she tries out for the basketball team, everyone laughs at her because she's only 4'11", and of course she doesn't make the team. So she then tries for the soccer team, but they don't have a girls' soccer team. The soccer team only has boys on it, and while the coach can't prevent girls from getting on the team, he makes it clear that if Anya joins the team, she's just going to ride the bench, that he's not going to play girls because he wants to win and he doesn't think girls can compete on a soccer pitch. And so she's very discouraged, but she does make some new friends. And one of the friends suggests that she start her own soccer team. And so she decides to do that. But there's two problems. She has to get 10 more players. She has to find 10 more people willing to play on her team. And she has to get permission from the school principal. Now, one of her friends is a seamstress who's into what is known as Gothic Lolita fashion. And so she designs some Gothic Lolita uniforms. Gothic Lolita is a uniquely Japanese fashion subculture, substyle, which kind of combines the dark colors of goth with Victorian, frilly, girly dresses. So it's kind of strange. You can see an illustration of one of the uniforms here. So they come up with these really unique uniforms that are different from anybody else, and it attracts some of the outsider kind of misfit school people. So eventually she does get enough people for a soccer team, including 3 boys, one of whom is a boy that she knew in elementary school and has a grudge against, but she lets him on the team because she needs to have 11 players. And there's 2 other boys that join the team because they're sympathetic to her because they don't think the coaches have treated her fairly. So she gets enough kind of a mixed gender team together, but then she has to convince the principal to let them have a team. And he agrees to do that, but only if they can prove that they are good enough to not that they won't embarrass the school. So he insists that they play a test match against the other soccer team, the one with the boys on it. So the question is, can they compete? The problem is a lot of these kids on this team have never played soccer before, and so how are they going to compete against the official school soccer team? And so that's basically the plot outline. So it's one of those plots that you see all the time in manga, but it's done with a lot of style and humor. And it's done a little bit differently. It's still drawn in the traditional manga style from right to left. So you read it backwards compared to Western comic books. But the drawing style is quite different from a lot of manga that you're familiar with. It's drawn in a very minimalist way. There's just very, very clear pen and ink lines. There's not a lot of background, and it's more similar to some American comic books in the graphic style. But the story moves along very rapidly, and the characters are fairly well developed, especially Anya, and they get this plot lines become more developed as the series goes through it. So I think it's a 5-volume series altogether. So it's not a real long manga series, but there's more than one book. So if you're interested in sports manga and you want to try something a little bit different, something that's European oriented, you might try reading this book series. The book is Gothic Sports Volume 1. The author is Anike Hage. This has been another Man in Gray book review. Thanks for watching.